things are already pre-established.
or at least appearing to lie dormant. And this does not imply that. Hey everyone, what is going on? What is going on? Good morning to you and welcome to Men's Morning Check-In. My name is Curtis Brooks and I am your host. Guys, we have yet another wonderful show for you. I'm super excited because we are we are talking about men, guys, and this show here provides a opportunity or a platform for men to check in. And all too often, or at least the premises of this show, all too often is that men are checking out mentally and emotionally, and to the extreme they are taking their lives. So this show here is was done with a heart for men, guys. That's what I do. I serve men in the best of my ability and take my experience and to help men move along in different areas. But nevertheless, guys, so today is Friday, so we are talking about FAQ. Any question that you might have related to any post or any conversation you've had throughout the week thus far, ask away. Leave those comments and questions in the comments section of our broadcast, whether we are streaming live currently or after. So if you have any questions, leave those comments there. And also, if you want to email me, you can email me at it's not rocket science coaching at gmail.com. Once more, it's not rocket science coaching at gmail.com. We're streaming to 3 platforms, guys. That is going to be Facebook, live coaching, the number 4 men. Again, live coaching, the number 4 men over on Facebook, and also YouTube. That is live coaching for men, spelled out as it sounds. Live coaching for men. Live coaching for men over on YouTube. And finally, here on LinkedIn, you can search for me under Curtis Brooks. That's where you'll find me. I'm pretty active here on LinkedIn. So that being said, guys, today's Friday. So it is FAQ Friday, and we're talking about a true leader's reputation. And I wanted to stay away from just leader because I think leader or leadership, that word has just been played out. It's just been dusted and overly used in my vernacular. But nevertheless, I wanted to go with a true leader reputation. And so that's what we're talking about. And my first question to you is that I think, well, not so much a question, but as a statement is, can we all agree that in order to make wine, that the grapes themselves have to go through a crushing process? The grapes have to be crushed. Or have seen the if you have seen olive oil being made, and I, not personally, but through videos, I've seen olive oil being, or olives being pressed or crushed to make olive oil, cooking oil, things that we use for cooking, or even salads, things of that nature. But it is a crushing process, to say the least. And I think it's also important to know that every true leader now, needs to know that, or should know, that you have to deny yourself. You have to deny yourself. And here's what I mean when I say deny yourself. It means to simply to have yourself in a situation, or at least life as different as life presents different situations to us, that we are not responding. We're not responding as the world would respond to certain situations. So if someone is angry with us, we're approaching that situation in love. If someone does something mean or says something mean to us, we're approaching that situation in love. So that's what I mean to deny yourself. And that biblically is what Jesus had to do. He had to deny himself. And I think oftentimes as men, that's the last thing that we're thinking about, is denying ourselves, guys. That's the last thing that we're thinking about, is denying ourselves, because it frankly costs too much to deny ourselves. And that's kind of a, I guess I would say, a general census, if you will. And oftentimes I think the challenge is men don't want to take that position. It's a position you have to take. And it's not about feelings. It's not something that you feel. But here's what takes men out. Here's what destroys men. And I say men, I'm speaking women as well. But here's what destroys men with leadership, is that they don't want to deny themselves. They think they're just going to walk into the house, walk into that place or that organization, and just, here I am. And oftentimes that is the case. That's exactly what happens. And I think it shows up in so many different ways. The bad leadership. And that if a leader has not come to a place where, at least a true leader has not come to a place where he is ready to deny himself, not just one time, but over and over and over. Quick story, guys, quick story is that I remember when I had really just essentially got back in touch with my son. Me and my son had a unfortunate and strange relationship. And not that I was upset with him, but he may have been upset with me. But due to just life, guys, relationships, things of that nature, that's what we had. We had an estranged relationship, and that was not my plan, man. And a matter of fact, I just had this conversation with him maybe like a couple of days ago, and I apologized to him. And we've been talking quite extensively now, but I apologized to my son. I can remember I cried on the phone as I was talking to him because that wasn't my plan. My plan was, I told, as I was sharing with him, I wanted for us, or at least I had dreamt of us sitting on the couch or watching baseball, having beers or something like that, only to find out he didn't really like baseball. And that's okay. He doesn't like baseball too much, but I love baseball. But here's the other piece of it. I remember once I finally got in touch with him. Not that he was so far, but I had the courage to pick up the phone because I was disappointed with myself and thought he was disappointed with me, and he surely was, and he had every right to. He had every right to be disappointed with me. But here's what I did. We're talking about a true leader's reputation. Here's what I did. Prior to the conversation, getting on the phone, talking with him, I had gone through this scenario back and forth, back and forth. I'd gone through this scenario, and I said, I'll say it this way. I'll say it this way. And I know, and this is just mentally or just my own dealings here. And I'll do it this way. I'll do it this way. No, no, scratch that. Say it this way. And finally, I ended up, well, I'll tell him what happened. So I made a phone call, and he's like, hey, Dad. And he's sounding kind of despondent or just kind of away from the call, if you will. But he was there. And I said, hey, Curtis. And I was probably the same way. I probably sounded the same way and not knowing what to expect. But then finally, he says, I said to him, I said, how you doing, man? I haven't talked to you in a while. He said, yeah, I know, Dad. It's been a while. And just that alone, I just felt I was crushed. I was hurt, man. But I wanted to tell him what happened. And before I could get my end of the story out, or at least my part of the story to tell him what happened, he was like, Dad, I don't want to hear that. You're not going to talk about my mom. And I, I, I was hurt. I was like, wait, Curtis, he's a junior. I said, Curtis, I wasn't talking about your mom. Here's my point. Prior to the conversation, I was trying to protect my reputation. I had plans on protecting my reputation because in my mind, I seen my relationship, or at least the idea of what I had proposed or how I wanted the relationship to end, or at least uh, to move along. Where, as I mentioned earlier, we're watching uh, baseball and having beers. So when I shared this with him the other day, he laughed and I cried. He didn't know all this was going on. But here I was trying to protect my reputation. I was trying to protect my reputation. Not ready to deny myself because I had a reputation to protect. And I promise you, I didn't see it that way. I wasn't even thinking like that. I wanted to let him know what was going on. But in his eyes, there I was, trying to protect something or an image, idea that I had put together in my own mind. There's a scripture in the Bible that says, Mark chapter 10, verse 25, it says, it is easier for a camel to get through the eye of a needle than it is for a rich man. That may not necessarily be verbatim, but The point is, the camel obviously is a camel of no reputation. But for the rich man, oh, he has all kinds of reputation. It's easier for the camel to get through the eye of the needle and to enter to the kingdom of God than it is for a rich man. That's the rest of it. So what does it have to say or do with us? Is that with true leadership comes a submission. True leadership cannot in any way, any fashion, look to salvage its own self. But true leadership has to die for yet someone they don't know. Yeah, I'm talking about true leadership. Not the pseudo leadership that men have made up, but true leadership will give up himself. True leadership will give up his life for another. And let's face it, I'm going to be honest with you. I probably would not give my son up as probably you wouldn't give your son up. I wouldn't give your son up for the sake of your life, and you probably wouldn't do the same for me. But in this instance, we have an example of someone who had given their life up for us. And his name is Jesus, yes. So that's what I want to leave you with, guys, as we are wrapping up our time. And as always, as I mentioned earlier, if you have any comments, questions, leave them in the comments section of this broadcast. Or once the broadcast is ended, leave those comments there. I'll answer them and answer those questions thoroughly as quickly as possible. You can also email me. So, guys, as we're finalizing this here, remember, true leadership, guys, is submission. It's submission from a much deeper level. It's submission from a soul level. A submission that causes us to be crushed. A submission that makes us of no reputation. A understanding that in the midst of when things go haywire, whether you're in an organization or in your household, sometimes as men we have to sit with it. Not try to divert, but sit with it. And oftentimes as we're sitting with it, those are the most wonderful lessons that come out of life. So guys, lastly, I want to leave you with, as we're wrapping up here, I want to leave you with a men's conference that we have going on or taking place in the Houston, Texas area. That is for 2 days, October the 20th and October 21st of this year, 2023. Again, for 2 days, October the 20th and the 21st. That is a Thursday. That is a Friday and a Saturday. My apologies. Friday and Saturday, the 21st, 20th and the 21st of October, 2023. It is the first day of that conference is 7 p.m. on Friday. The doors open there at 7 p.m. on Friday. It is a hybrid conference, so that means that there's going to be a virtual piece to it. So if you're so inclined to watching that conference from the confines of your own home, office, or watch it with some buddies, friends, please do so. Also, there is the in-person portion of the conference. You are also, again, invited there as well. You can follow this link that I'm going to share with you right now. That's going to be bit.ly/the men's conference. Check out the website there for more information to learn more and to reserve your seat there. Again, that's bit.ly/the men's conference. Guys, we'd love to see you there. There are going to be multiple speakers there. I won't be the only speaker there, guys. We'll be talking about spirituality, relationships, career, life in general as a whole, guys. Communication, as I said, relationships as well. All kinds of stuff, guys. And hopefully you will come hungry and you will leave with something, guys. So I'm going to say ciao for now, guys. It has been absolutely wonderful. I'm looking at my time here, trying to stay within my 15 minutes here, and I think I'm going to do it, guys. So we'll see you next week with Mind Matters Monday, guys. So ciao for now. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye. Why? Because obviously these
here with this amazing man.
Life comes with a lot of things that are already pre-established.
or at least appearing to lie good. This does not imply that